हरिः ओं श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। अब्रह्मं भङ्गयितम् अजडं न्यूनं सदा आनन्दतीर्थमतलं वदे तावत्रयापहं मिथ्यासिद्धान्तदुद्ध्वान्तविध्वंसनशिक्षणः जयतीर्थागतन् भासतां नहुलमरे अर्थिकप्रकल्पोऽयं प्रत्यत्यगतकेसरी व्यासरिक्तगुरुभूयादस्मृतिसाधसिद्धे तपोविद्याविरक्त्यादि सद्गुणोगाकरान् वादिराजगुरुवन्दे कृपदाश्रयान् पूज्याय राघवेन्द्राय सिद्धर्मर्ताय च भजतां कल्पवृक्षाय नमतां कामधेनवे दुर्वाध्वान्तरवे वैष्णवेन्दीवरेन्दवे श्रीराघवेन्द्रगुरुवे नमोऽद्याळवे आपादमौलिपर्यन्तं गुरूणामाप्तिपदे तेन विघ्नाः प्रणश्यन्ति सिद्ध्यन्ति मनोरथाः। हरिः ओं श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. We have entered chapter 3 and we have done about the Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga. Just to recap a little bit, Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga, Arjuna question asked, why are you putting me in this predicament of, doing the war when there's a choice, I can probably take up the Jnana Marga and do it. So then Krishna explains, first of all, there are multiple issues. One is Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga, whatever you think, okay, choosing whatever I want, is not the thing, because whatever your duty is, your duty also important. So you are born to do certain tasks, you are supposed to do that. So how do I know? Um, Kula Dharma, Jati Dharma, all these are all there, but they're all our own makings. So why should Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, the Varnas also they're in our own making? Why should so all these hypothetical questions are there. Then Krishna explains, Jnana Yogena. So he says, Lokesmin Vidhanishta. There he says, the message behind it is like a lot of people misunderstood, because path of knowledge, path of action. If I choose to go to path of knowledge, I don't have to worry about action. I may do action, I may not. It's optional. It's not, I don't care about action. This is the misconception people had. And then if I'm going on the path of action, I don't have to worry about knowledge. Maybe I'll get knowledge, maybe a little bit of here and there. I don't have to care about the knowledge at all. It's not really needed. So I can choose whatever I want. First of all, Krishna clarifies that, look, jnana, marga, or the path of knowledge doesn't mean the action is not needed, or the other way also. Both of them need both. But what it is means, the path of knowledge means knowledge is more and the lower, and the percentage of action is less. Same way, action of knowledge means, action means, path of action means you have more of action and less of knowledge. But depending on the situation, you may have to go whatever way, that's there, but they have both of them in required amount. And he, the Gita Shloka doesn't say, but the Acharya gives in the commentary, explains what it is the Devas, they are so, and even Yeti, some of the Yetis also, sannyasis also, some of them, they are, rather most of them, sannyasis and Yetis, they are Jnana Yogis, means they have chosen the path of knowledge. And they do a lot of, for example, especially Devatas, if you take, they do Abhimanitva, the presiding over our organs, sense, internal organs, which we don't see them, of course, but as an internal force, the Devatas control our sense also, even though they do tremendous action, their knowledge is even more. Same way, there are karma yogis at the path of those who have chosen the path of action. There may be a lot of people who are highly knowledgeable, but their actions are even more. They have concentration of more actions in spite of being great knowledgeable people. So it doesn't mean, oh, I choose one, I don't have to care about the other. In fact, the higher and higher one goes, they can see the importance of both and do both of them a lot. Even people at a lower level, people like us, for doing action, you need to know what to do, why you are doing action, what you are doing, when you are doing, how to do. The knowledge around the action is needed. Otherwise, only action not possible. That's why in Advaita philosophy, they say, oh, you become a jnana yogi, you don't have to worry about karma. No. First of all, even you take up the path of action, a lot of knowledge is needed. Same way, people who are highly knowledgeable people, oh, I don't do any action. I'm a knowledge. I'll just sit and meditate. He has to lead his life. He has to, conduct his lifestyle, means he has to earn food. He has to live on some food. Even if he gives up the family, he lives a sannyasi life. Still, some actions are needed even to continue the path of knowledge. So it needs a lot of action also. That is one clarification. And another clarification is this is nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatutisha. In Gita itself it comes. No person can stay without action even for him. So I am a jnana yogi. I don't need action. This Advaita approach is not possible even. But not even one instant a person cannot remain without action. Hey, how come when I sleep, I'm not doing any action? The sleeping itself is an action. And while sleeping, you're breathing, that's an action. And if you are dreaming, that's also an action. The mind is still working behind you, even when the mind is asleep, in deep sleep state also, the respiration process, which Uchvasa and Nishvasa we call, the inhale and exhale is going on, and the internal body organs, heart is beating. So many, of course, you're not doing those action, you may say, but they are all happening inside, some without your knowledge. And further, when the person is awake and not doing anything, the mental actions, the mind of the person is the mental activity is going on. That's also an action, mental action. So physical action alone is not action. Mental and vocal action, they are also action. That's what it is. And then another objection may come, and people say aproksha jnani, that one, we talked about a little bit about aproksha jnani. That means one who has the direct darshana of Paramatma inside him, the who could see the Paramatma's Swarupa, Bimba Swarupa, a kind of what we say is, it can be a Jada Pratima of the Bimba Swarupa, but it actually gives the joy of seeing Paramatma. So actual Paramatma graces him with his appearance. How we know is the Aproksha Jnani Lakshanas we talked about in second chapter. If a person exhibits those symptoms, then the claim of that person is true, that he has Aproksha Darshana. That means Aproksha Yogi will exhibit certain qualities. He will have a clear knowledge of Paramatma. Only such person can have aproksha. But one who has aproksha darshana, that person is guaranteed moksha. We talked about that. So then people can hypothetically ask, hey, look, moksha is guaranteed for an aproksha jnani. So he doesn't have to do any action. Even if he doesn't do any action, or say you say breathing and all those are action, okay, that kind of action he may do. But actually engaging in activity, he doesn't have to do. If someone says they makes that a claim, even that is answered in Shastra say, even for a person who is guaranteed moksha or liberation, for such person, for increasing the joy in the moksha, that means it's like earning a bonus, ananda vruddhi we call. That means he will have an exalted happiness, the bliss, the moksha bliss will be in an exalted state. Of course, whatever he is eligible, he will get, but his eligibility may contain this exalted state, this high spiritual bliss in moksha without the physical body. Only Jiva, Swarupa is there, no Linga Sharira, no Aniruddha Sharira, no Sthula Sharira. That means the gross body, then the special body, the internal body called Aniruddha Sharira, Sukshma. That's a very small, invisible one. And inside, even smaller, that's much more invisible. That is Linga Sharira. Inside, there is Swarupa Sharira. So all the other out three are cast off in liberation. Only Swarupa Deha, the inherent form, is there. And even in that inherent form, the ananda, the bliss is abhivyakti. That means it is comes out. It's already there because jiva is jnanananda swarupa. We say that means it's a personification of bliss and knowledge. It may be limited. It may be different levels for different people, but they are made of that. Every jiva is made of that. So if that is the case, then that ananda is increased by doing actions in unliberated. In here in samsara, even a jnana yogi, that means a person who has taken to the path of knowledge, who has acquired aproksha jnana, even the aproksha jnani has to do action, and he will do like serving the Paramatma, doing puja, because he will enjoy that also. He will have great joy doing it, one thing. Second thing, by doing that, his knowledge, his ananda, bliss in moksha also increases. Exalted states he will go. So there is no virodha. because that's a Paramashrute, there's a Paramashrute, na karmana na pradeya dhanena ityadi virodhana. So, for one who is aprokshagnani, there is no restriction of karma or doesn't have to beget children, doesn't have to earn money, all this is there. But this is a real jnani will earn money in a right way to help people also. To do, if you have to do a good act, you need money also. And jnana. So depending upon the context, situation, the karma is done even by an aproksha jnani. And otherwise, anyata na karmana mano. So basically, a lot of vakyas are there in both Shruti and Smriti, which support this combination of knowledge and action. And another objection may come, people may say, hey, moksha or the liberation is called naishkarmya, another name. What it means is actionless world, or a world where no action has any purpose, and then nobody is bound by any action. There is no restriction of it because there is no more sadhana. Sadhana is all complete done. Once you go to moksha, no more sadhana. In that state, that's why moksha is called naishkarmya. That means actionless state. Actionless state, no actions, state or status or position or condition. So that one, na karmanam anarambhaya naishkaryam purushoshmite na cha sanyasanadeva siddhim samadhigati. So it clarifies. So look, I won't do any karma, I'll stop doing all karmas. So my karma bandha will slowly go away and I go to moksha. That's why it's called naishkarmya, means through complete absence of actions, the state that is obtained is moksha. So naishkarmya is misunderstood. Naishkarmya means actionless, means I don't have to do any action, is not the definition of naishkarmya or actionless liberated state. What it means is, it means after going to moksha, your actions will not give any additional benefit, but still the jivas in moksha, because of their inherent nature, they will be engaged in a lot of actions. They'll serve Paramatma, they'll do puja, they'll do sing glories of Paramatma, all that they'll do. They may not get any additional bliss by their sadhana in moksha, but they're exhibiting their ananda. They're exhibiting their joy. They like it. They enjoy it. They're doing it. Not because for getting enjoyment, because there's an interesting way. All our actions, they can be categorized into 5 categories. We talked about it once. I'm just reminding you all those, or for those, some people it may be first time, but most of the people you may already have heard about this. All our actions, they fall into one of the 5 categories. We may do it for the sake of joy, or we may do it for the sake of getting rid of sorrow, or we may do it as an expression of joy, or we may do it as an expression of sorrow, or it can be a neutral action, like you scratch your head, or you just walk around like this way, that way, in a restless fashion, or you just sit down, stand, or whatever. You may do something aimlessly. We call tatastha action or neutral. That means they do not have, not for getting a joy or not expression of joy, is none of the 4 categories. Just a casual thing without your involvement, without your mental process. Even you do something like scratching your head type of thing, very very neutral tatastha actions. That's the 5th category. These are the only 5 possibilities. It is not any other 6th possibility. All our actions fall into one of these 5 possibilities. And for mukta jivas, for them, they do actions, it is an expression of joy. One of these 4 or 5 categories we talked about is expression of joy. Same way for people who are in anantamas, their actions are all expression of sorrow. They are completely sorrowful state. Here mukta jivas are completely blissful state. So that's what it is. So it is, people who get the ananda is through the abhivyakti of ananda, or manifestation of ananda, is by doing certain, that means the actions themselves are expression. Same way Paramatma is doing this srishti, sthiti, laya, nemana, jnana, ajnana, bandha, mukta. 8 kinds of activities for this whole universe, creating it, sustaining it, destroying it, everything. So is he doing all this because it gives him a kind of a joy? Enjoy, he enjoys doing it. It gives him a joy, so is he doing it? No, because for him, joy is complete, infinite joy. He's a liberated one. No more joy. Oh, I do this, I'll get more joy. This kind of situation is not there for him. He will do everything as an expression of joy. Because Paramatma's Ananda is so infinite, his expression of joy comes in the form of creation of the universe itself, maintaining the universe, destruction of the universe. So it is a big expression. It is an expression of joy of Paramatma. So, like that, for us also, even for a smallest creature, even an ant or whatever, if it goes to moksha, that is expression of joy. Through there is so, and nacha sanyasanadeva siddhim namadagati. So I give up all action, I get a siddhi or moksha or something happens, wonderful. So I'll give up action is the best thing to do. So I'll do that. If somebody says that's a wrong understanding, you cannot do that. And it says Nata Sanyasanat Eva Siddhim. You cannot siddhi by giving up action alone. Something else has to be done. What is to be done? You have to do karma and you have to do nivrutta karma so that you are not bound by that karma. But not only that, you will destroy the accumulated karma also. Because you have so much accumulated, so many bags we have filled up in our previous lives. I won't do any action. Means when will you go to, when can you exhaust all your action? So many bags that you have collected. It will take several infinite janmas. So at least even here, a lot of janmas have to be taken, but at least there is a progress, there's a hope. If you do action as a nivrutta karma, not only that action won't bind you, it will remove slowly, one by one, little by little, all your accumulated actions. It's like a big mountain. It has to be taken out. The mountain of the prarabdha karma is to be taken off, and the sanchita and agami, because if sanchita is left alone, eventually it will become prarabdha. So slowly sanchita agami has to go away, prarabdha has to be enjoyed, all this has to happen. The only way it can happen is you person has to do karma, nivritta karma. No naishkarmya, no giving up action, nothing. You got to do action. So, nacha sanyasana deva siddhim samadhi. One cannot have the moksha siddhi by giving up action. You better do action. That's what the Gita sloka. And actually, the commentaries explain one important factor. And a lot of things are there in the commentary, but one thing is important because in every janma, even if we don't want any action, we are forced to do certain actions. Those actions themselves are enough for 10 more janmas. And that each janma action is enough for 10 more janmas. Like that, if you think, look, at least if you look at it, it's exponentially expanding action web. Is a web of action. So to get out of this web of action, you have to do karma in the nivrutta form. That means with knowledge, with nishkama. Nivrutta is nothing but nishkama plus knowledge is nivrutta. So with nishkama, that means without any desire, by giving up the fruits Paramatma, as a seva of Paramatma, as a puja of Paramatma, you do action and give away the fruits also you don't desire, and this will burn your stored actions. This action will not bind you, and also stored action will be removed. So this is how one has to remember. So nanu nishkama karmana phalabhavat moksha. So nishkama karma, that means you don't do any kama, no phala. So what it is now, how will it help means Manusmriti it tells one thing. Nishkama karma with jnana is nivrutta karma. Nivrutta karma, one who does it, he only can reach Paramatma. So for us to obtain liberation and to reach Paramatma, Nivrutta karma is needed. It's not just it is optional, but it's compulsory. So Kamya karma has to be given up, Nishkama karma has to be taken up, and that has to be done with knowledge. That means we have to make efforts to acquire the knowledge also. All this is imperative. Karma bhi shuddha sattvasya vairagyam jayate. So one who does the karma in a shuddha mind, pure mind, then that person will eventually obtain the vairagya. or the detached attachment. So attachment is, even when attachment is there, it should be detached attachment. Complete detachment may not be possible because we have to lead our lives. We have to earn money, we have to eat food, we have to go all the activities. Yes, all that can be done, but do them with, as with nishkamatva, and as a puja, as a worship of Paramatma. Everything has to be as a worship of Paramatma. So this is what Krishna is giving. So when you don't do kamana or desire for action, doesn't mean you won't have the fruits of action. No, I don't desire for action means I won't get any fruits. That's not the case, because we don't have the control of the fruits also. When we do karma, with or without the desire, the fruits will come only. But when we do the karma without the desire for the phala, it will be beneficial. So no matter what, the phala will come. So you do nishkama, also phala will come. It's not like, oh, I do the job, don't ask for the salary. That's not what it is telling. Because your karma includes, you ask for whatever salary you deserve, you ask for it. That's also a part of the karma. You have to do that karma also. So, but you say, okay, whatever I get, I will utilize for the good of the society, for the good of the people, for all the nice things I use it. I won't misuse it. I won't do bad things. So that's what is important. That's how we have to lead our lives, with dedication to Paramatma, but we have to be engaged. That's why people say, oh, the people who have this predestination theory, they get lazy and they won't do, oh, God will do everything. Why should I do anything? They become like this. That's a wrong, and the people who are not having right knowledge will think like that, because even when we give up the fruits, desire for the fruits of the action, we still, as a seva, puja of Paramatma, we have to engage in action. That's very, very important. That's the message that we have to take home. I'll stop here. Any questions are there? You can feel free to ask Hare Srinivasa.
Yeah, Sasnang Namaskar, Shikeshara. So just to summarize,
Yeah,
just to understand that you
yeah,
talked about the Nivritti karma.
yeah.
So the Nivritti karma, when done, will slowly take away all of the Sanchit, and Agami karma will, Lepa will not be there.
Yeah. The way it will happen is not that, okay, I do a one Nivritta karma, it goes away. What happens is, now a Nivritta karma, it will start, prevent one, conversion of Sanchita into, it will not go away right away,
Mm.
but it will prevent the Sanchita getting converted to the Prarabdha. So our continuous journey will
Mm.
not keep on getting extending. And
Okay.
at some point, when this jnana becomes firm,
Mm.
we get aparoksha jnana. At the time of aparoksha jnana, as we talked about, jahati va ubhe sukruta dushkrute. So all the anishta punya and papa or sins which are bandhaka, all that will go away in one shot. So the, for acquiring aparoksha jnana, the nivritta karma is needed. Without nivritta karma, we cannot travel towards the aparoksha jnana.
Okay, dhanyawad. So one just a follow-up question. So Nivritta karma then is basically it following characteristics like Nishkama without the desire of the fal. And then
Yes,
you have to do the Vihit karma as per your
yes,
ashram and varna.
yes,
And then there should be no abhimana in
yes,
the, and then paradhin, understanding that the jiva is always under the control of the Lord,
yes,
understanding that doership of the Lord.
yes,
And as a dedication towards the whatever we do it with the Mahatma Gyan of the Lord and
yeah,
at the service of the Lord. This is
yes,
what the Nivritti Karma definition would be. Is that
yes, yeah, yes.
okay? धन्यवाद साष्टांग नमस्कार.
No.
Namaskar, Gurugala.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
I have one question,
yeah.
slightly different lines, but
Okay,
similar topic.
okay,
If a person is like highly dedicated in his or her daily activities, like
yeah.
serving the community, doing things selflessly, however, he doesn't have any knowledge of dedicating his or her actions to God, what would be the benefit of such karma?
Yeah. the benefits is the person is doing a lot of good activities like a good Samaritan or whatever, so a good service, social service, but doesn't have the godly knowledge. It will not go waste. He will be getting like a wonderful life, a rich, he may become a very rich person, a lot of material prosperity will be there. He will have a nice, wonderful, happy life. He will get janmas that are very, very affluent and very nice, comfortable. And if in his swabhava, the Paramatma's thing is hiding. So in that Janma, he may be like very neutral and maybe doesn't have any godly thoughts or anything like that. But he will get a very nice life, wonderful life. And maybe if in his swabhava, the Paramatma Bhakti is there, one of the Janmas, he will turn, oh, this is Paramatma's thing is so nice. So he will turn towards Paramatma and then he will go travel towards moksha. So he will get a lot of material prosperity and then opportunity to acquire knowledge in his future lives. So none of his good acts will go waste. He may become a super rich person, or he may have all comfortable, healthy. A lot of people they're super rich, but they have very bad health. That situation may not happen if he really does a lot of good things, good acts. He may have a nice, comfortable, luxurious, rich life. At the same time, healthy life. He may have it. He may have a lot of good things. So his efforts will not go waste. But because he's doing it in a materialistic way, he will get the materialistic benefits. He will get a lot of materialistic benefits. And eventually, in his swabhava, if there is a Paramatma Chintana is there, Paramatma will expose him to that, influence him that, give a desire for him to go there, and he will end up in one of his future lives. He may become a good devotee of Paramatma and travel towards moksha. So it can happen maybe after some lives. Yeah, maybe after, in this life is a later time, or maybe right next life. Anytime it may happen. We don't know. But all his good acts will not go waste. They will get him a lot of good things, but material because he's doing materialistic way. He will get materialist joys.
Understood. ధన్యవాదాలు సార్.
Sure. No.
Yeah, I have one more question.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that all actions can be uh, in one of these following categories, like for sake of joy, getting rid
Yeah.
of sorrow, or expression of joy, or expression of
Yeah.
sorrow, or neutral action.
Mhm.
So when somebody is helping another person,
Yeah.
how do we understand, how can we categorize it in these five? One of
Yeah.
these.
Yeah. It can be categorized as an action for the sake of, because even a good servant, he may not expect any results. He may not anything in return. He may be doing a selfless service, but that makes him very happy, right? He is doing for the sake of getting that nice satisfaction. He feels, oh, I helped one poor person who was struggling. He was, like in the road, he was undergoing a lot of issues. I helped him. I was with him for hours together, helped him, and he doesn't even brag it anywhere, but in his mind he is so happy. So he is doing it for the sake of that satisfaction, for the sake of that happiness. So he wants to acquire that happiness. So that satisfaction feeling he is doing for the sake of that feeling, one thing. Or the second thing is, he says there may be some selflessness. He may not feel, okay, I don't even care if I get happiness or not. I just do it. I just do it. I don't expect even this happiness.
Mm.
Suppose somebody is in that level.
Mm.
Even that person, what he is doing is, because he's doing nishkama, right? It's a nishkama karma.
Yeah.
But it is not a nivrutta karma in the sense it is not for the sake of, um, I mean, it's not along with some knowledge.
Mm.
So it is not coupled with knowledge. He's doing nishkama all right. And he's also doing not even expecting the happiness out of it, let us say. But still, what happens is it will not bind him. That particular karmas that he is doing, it may not bind him because he's doing nishkama way, he's not expecting anything. But it will not take away the existing load of actions,
Mm.
because this will not bind him. This will not cause any bondage for him. But already karma that he has performed, which are like in kind of a bondage for him, they will not go away because he is not doing with jnana. He doesn't know why he is doing nishkam karma. He doesn't realize the controllership of Paramatma. He doesn't realize this dependence on Paramatma. He doesn't try to uh, uh, travel towards this aparoksha darshana. So he's not doing any of that. So that aspect, that Nivritta Lakshana is lacking, Nishkama Lakshana is there. So that particular karma won't bind, but it will not take away the bondage of other karmas.
Okay. So this categories that you gave. So these are all these activities, actions done. You said all the actions are done with these following. Uh,
Yes,
for
yes, all the actions are done with the knowledge that I am not Swatantra Karta. Paramatma alone is the Swatantra Karta. He is an independent doer. I am a dependent doer. I always do with his prachodana or instigation.
Hmm.
And he is the one who will give me whatever fruits he gives. I will accept whatever he gives. I won't say, Give me this, give me that." I won't ask for anything. Let him give whatever it is. Whatever he gives, I'll accept. That is what is Nivritta.
So then, if it is a nivritta karma, then it's not in one of these categories. Is that right?
Yeah. See, the thing is, Nivritta Karma, what you are doing is, it is also in one of these categories, because Nivritta Karma you do,
Hmm.
what you are doing for the sake of Aproksha Darshana, right? You are
Ah.
doing for the sake of the joy of the, even Ekanta Bhaktas, they are not doing for the moksha. So the two kinds of thing. One, those who are doing for the sake of the moksha. So they are doing with some expectation, but that is called, see, that Nishkamatva is a very, very tricky word.
Hmm.
You desire for any materialistic thing, then it is called sakama.
Hmm.
If you desire for Paramatma or for moksha, even though you are desiring it, it
Hmm.
is not categorized in Islam. We talked about this earlier. So it is comes in the category of doing for the sake of the joy,
Hmm.
because it has to fall into one of these five categories. So that person who is doing without any expectation, even he is wants the company of Paramatma, or the seva of Paramatma, or the bhagya of the Paramatma. Or if an atheist is there, he may be doing a nishkama, but he is doing for the sake of the happiness or the satisfaction. He gets good, feels good by doing that. So that falls in either expression of, because we do a lot of, like for example, we get happiness, we laugh, we laugh.
Hmm.
That by laughing we don't get joy. The laughing is expression of joy.
Hmm.
Same way we cry when something bad happens, because we are not crying to get the sorrow or to get rid of the sorrow. We are crying because it is an expression of sorrow. So these activities also come into one of these categories. So even a person who is doing, appears like he's doing nishkama, but that kama can be for a positive side, it can be for reaching Paramatma, or in a neutral side, it can be for getting satisfaction or happiness or that ananda, that for the sake of that he may be doing, but he is not expecting results of that, so that particular karma may not bind him, but still he is doing for the sake of the good of the society, and he feels good by doing the good to the society. So it still falls into one of these, because there is nothing that is out of these five categories. Every karma has to be in one of these five categories. It may be immediate desire, or it may be immediately for the sake of happiness, or it may be eventual happiness, but still for the sake of happiness and for the sake of getting rid of sorrow.
Okay. Dhanyavad. Sastang namaskar.
Sure.
ಗುರುಗಳ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
Yeah.
I had a question relating to the actions that are performed. Um, I mean, out of so many actions that we perform,
Yeah.
we may not have the gnana or the knowledge of many of that, and we may just perform that because we were told from the elders, or something that's being followed.
Mhm.
And also in terms of the actual gnana, or the knowledge about certain things when it comes,
Mhm.
um, many of the rituals that we try to do surrounding that
Yeah.
is not clearly specified, and that's kind of open, and it's kind of like open where different people, different groups, and different matas follow different things. So
Yeah.
will there be any use initially for whatever the actions that are done without the knowledge, and later um, for doing all other ritual kind of stuff which is not actually there when the knowledge is actually God?
Yeah.
Is there any meaning for those?
Yeah, it's a good question, because most of the time we are caught in that, because somebody told us, elders told us, we do it blindly.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So they definitely have phala, but because we are doing without knowledge, the fruits that we get, the phala that we get, is a smaller in proportions. But it's not like zero knowledge and infinite. I mean, full knowledge. It's sometimes it can be in between also. Even if it's zero knowledge, we do something. For doing the action, definitely there's a phala, because no action is without phala. Even if we follow blindly the elders thing and all, if we do the right thing, some phala will, but it is a kind of a diminished phala, that's all. It is less and
Uh-huh.
less. And as well, a good example is, in a small, like, first grade or something, people teach that math tables, like, two times two is four,
Yeah.
and the child doesn't know what he may just repeat like that, and he doesn't know what he's saying even. He doesn't have any knowledge at all. But as he go to third, fourth, fifth, oh, I was telling these math tables, but they mean this. So the meaning he will come to know later. But there a benefit for him just to say, yeah, there's a benefit, but because at the later time that helps him, to understand the concept better. So I mean, it can be a crude example, but it gives an idea that even if we do without any knowledge, they certainly do carry this. But when we do with the knowledge, like a person who is in a PhD level, he knows all these things, why they are there, what they are there, and the way he works and ever, he will have a tremendous benefit. He's highly at advantageous state. Same way, the person who slowly does it blindly before, and then as he grows, mentally grows. I'm not in just the age, but as he goes, oh, I was doing this ritual. I didn't know that this is there has this is significance. Comes to know about it, gets a joy out of it. Oh, good, I was doing it. You feel good that you are doing the right thing. So the benefits, when you know and do it with knowledge, you do, the benefits are very, very high. When you do without knowledge, still it's not waste. It's because we talked about this in the second adhyaya 40th sloka. Even Salpamapityesya Taite Mahato Bhayat. So even if you do a little bit of that, it will have tremendous benefits. There are a lot of benefits, but you may not have 100%. Full benefit is not there. As you go and do more and more with knowledge, it will become more and more the result. That's all. So it will not go waste. Oh, I didn't have proper knowledge, so it's all waste. No, not like that.
Thank you very much, Gurugala.
Sure.
The second part of my question was like, when I said rituals, like, many of the things that are surrounding the actual action. For example, certain thing that needs to be done, but prior to that, um, like, the normal misconception is with respect to the muddy. So there are so many things that are associated with that, and the things that are done with respect to that,
Yeah.
versus somebody who doesn't follow the strict muddy or the that kind of process.
Yeah. That's why we talk about anusandhana. See, the thing is, some of the things may be missing. So, if it is intentionally missed, then it's a problem. But unintentionally misses. That's why at the end of any puja, we say varna dosha, swara dosha, karma dosha, sarva dosha prayaschitta, tam nama tejapam aham karishe, say om achityanma, om antanma. Of course, that's not an escape gate, but for things that are beyond you, certain things may go not no, may not go right, it may go wrong. So all associated actions are also needed, because is you do homa means is not just sit at the fire and do offer ghee. We have to acquire the firewood somewhere. You have to build the homa kunda. You have to do so many other activities, and you have to invite people whoever want to see it, and all that are other activities are involved with that, and you do all of them. And some of the activities you may not even know why you're, like, for example, you put this on the left side, you put this on the right side. All those things we don't even know why you are doing it. But all the prescription, okay, this is how it is prescribed in Vedas, I follow this. So that awareness, that itself helps, in the sense, even if we don't know all the surrounding activities, we do because, oh, somebody knows given. So associated activities are also important, and all that, when we do, what anusandhana, with what anusandhana, I mean, okay, I am doing this for the sake of pleasing Paramatma. So this is, I do it in a selfless way. I do it in a, I am Aswatantra Paramatma. With this bhavana, I do it. But at the same time, with Paramatma's grace, I will do my best. So this is always trying, doing the best, and with the right anusandhana. Anusandhana basically means anusrutya sandhiyate. According to the scriptures, you connect the things. Okay, if I do this will happen. So that awareness, that knowledge, you may slowly acquire. You may not have any knowledge to start with. That is fine. Eventually, somebody, if you have the desire inside you, I want to know about it. God will provide you an opportunity so that your desire will be fulfilled. Somebody will come and tell you, hey, this is why you are doing, or you ask somebody, they may explain to you, this is why you are doing this. So eventually, your desire to acquire the knowledge will be fulfilled when it is genuine desire. So, in all stages, anusandhana, that is connecting properly, thinking properly, right attitude, that is what matters.
Thank you very much, Guruguru.
Okay, we'll again meet on Wednesday. Hare Srinivasa.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
Hare Srinivasa. Namaskar.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ರೀ.
Namaskar.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಹರೇ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಹರಿ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ.
Namaskar. I forgot to give the prayer, okay.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Prata Prabhuti Sayantam Sayadi Prataram Tatha Yatkromi Jagannatha Tadastuta Bhojanam Hare Srinivasa.
Dhanyavad. Namaskar.